Lamine Yamal.
Yamal wriggling his way through. Oh, it's simply sensational.
Marcus Rashford.
Marcus Rashford has rifled it in!
A duo that nobody ever expected. One used to be a teenage phenom.
Rashford, he's in here. He scores! Marcus Rashford takes yet another step up the ladder.
The other is one now.
Lamine Yamal. His ball towards the far stick. He's in. Oh, it's beautiful.
If you told someone a few years ago that Marcus Rashford would be at Barcelona, they would have laughed in your face. And then if you told them some teenager was going to be his partner in crime, they would have laughed even more. Or assumed that some crazy talent came out of Carrington. But nope, Rashford is partnering up with the new face of football in sunny Barcelona. Yamal and Rashford now wear the same badge and represent the same club. On paper, they complement each other so well. Yamal is a magician, a player that can score and create. In the 2025 season, he got 18 goals and 25 assists. He embarrassed defenders like he's playing on the street. Despite being a teenager, he plays with an insane amount of confidence. Every time he touches the ball, something special happened. And now when he looks up, there is a player other than Rafinha who can punish teams in behind. Rashford is a player who is at his best sprinting at the opposition. He has always been an incredible athlete, ever since the moment he stepped onto the pitch for Manchester United. He has a fantastic combination of athleticism and technical quality, a similar profile to Rafinha. He is too quick for most defenders, and now he's playing with a world-class playmaker. Barca knew this, hence why they made the left wing position such a priority in the summer. They wanted Nico Williams initially, a player who had a telepathic connection with Yamal, but that rat is happy winning nothing with his brother at his local club. The Williams brothers hate moving, I guess. That connection that Yamal and Nico had can be replicated with Rashford. Look at the goal that Spain scored at the Euros. Yamal dribbling past multiple players and finding Williams, who was making a run on the left. Rashford can make that exact run and score that exact goal. Remember, it wasn't that long ago that the Englishman scored 30 goals and gave 12 assists at Manchester United. Do you know how hard it is to put up these kind of numbers at a club that is known for being a graveyard for careers? Like, I get it, Rashford was inconsistent, but who wouldn't be? You could put prime Messi on that team and it wouldn't help. With Robert Lewandowski up front, Rafinha potentially playing more centrally, and Yamal creating on the right, Rashford adds something different. Speed, explosiveness, and a rocket of a right foot. But above all, he adds the hunger of a player who has a point to prove. Rashford's move to Barcelona is more than just a transfer. It's really about redemption. It's about a fresh start. After falling out of favor at United, Rashford knew that he had to fight for his future. That's why he accepted a big pay cut. He waived guarantees. He didn't ask for any special treatment. All he wanted to do was wear the Barca shirt. This move wasn't about the money. It was about proving the doubters wrong. Now, Rashford is no stranger to hate and criticism, but the doubts over him had never been higher after his falling out with Amorim.
Team, now maybe Marcus Rashford will get this realisation about how lucky I am to be there at Barcelona, how my form and performances over the last year or two don't really deserve to be at one of the best teams in Europe.
A lot of people expected and probably hoped that he would end up at a low to mid-tier Premier League side, but instead, Rashford fell upward. He went from a stadium that has roof leaks to sunny Catalonia. He went from Garnacho and Højlund to Rafinha and Yamal. He went from Ugarte to Pedri. This is like the footballing equivalent of cavemen finding fire. This is like when you get your first baddie and you don't know how to act. That's why Rashford is smiling ear to ear in every photo and video. I actually respected Rashford even more after his press conference. He had an opportunity to really criticize United and the way they treated him, but he stayed professional.
I don't have anything to say about Manchester United. I just wish them all the best.
The media in England keeps trying to portray him as this monster, but I haven't seen it. They try to make it out like if you're an inconsistent footballer, then that means that you're a terrible human being, which just isn't true. Like, the guy has been criticized publicly multiple times throughout his career. His manager joked that he would rather play the club's 63-year-old goalkeeper coach over him.
I will put Vital before I put a player that don't give the maximum every day.
And then he was stripped of the shirt number immediately. Yet Rashford never clapped back. So he truly is starting this new chapter in his career with a clean slate and a positive mindset. Barca and Flick didn't just need any player. They wanted someone who could run, press, and give everything for the team. They looked at Rashford and his situation and felt he could provide all of that. Which makes sense because Rashford was itching for this move the way a crackhead itches for his next fix. He actually wanted to come in January, but it wasn't possible. But instead, he went to Aston Villa, hoping that if he performs there, he could achieve his dream move to Barca. Villa offered a Champions League platform for him to shine, and a well-assembled team that was capable of competing against anybody. Those close to Rashford convinced the player to make the move by arguing that as long as he performed at Villa, he would have the chance to join Barcelona in the summer. The plan worked. There were signs of the old Rashford during his loan spell. He scored 4 goals and looked sharp, especially in the Champions League quarterfinals against PSG. In that match, he showed all of his best qualities: his explosive pace, fearless dribbling, and the ability to create goal-scoring opportunities for himself and others. History is also on the side of Rashford. We have seen that whenever players leave Manchester United, they instantly get better. Scott McTominay went to Napoli and led them to a league title. Anthony was mocked in England but became a hero at Real Betis. Rashford could easily be next, especially now that he's playing under Hansi Flick, a man known for bringing out the best in players. Flick brought back Ferran Torres' confidence. He turned Frankie de Jong back into the Ajax de Jong, and he elevated Rafinha from a player who was barely getting double-digit goals into a Ballon d'Or contender. His style is perfect for attacking players, especially those who are athletic and want to run. People forget what Flick did for Gnabry at Bayern. Gnabry was an Arsenal reject, a guy who barely shone playing for West Brom. Yet at Bayern under Hansi Flick, he looked like the best winger in the world. I swear Flick gives wingers steroids or something, because after Flick left, we never saw that version of Gnabry again. So if he can rejuvenate that guy and the Shark, why can't he do the same for Rashford, a player who at his best is way better than those 2 other guys? We saw against PSG and Brighton in the 2025 season that Rashford still has that spark in him somewhere. Flick just has to bring it out. Adding him to a team with Lewandowski, who scored 42 goals in the 2025 season, and Rafinha, who got 34 goals and 25 assists, and you've got an attack that's ready to destroy everyone. And the great thing for Rashford is he no longer has to carry the attack on his own like he did at United. For the Red Devils, he had to do everything himself. He couldn't afford to have a bad game. But now, he's stepping into a team full of talent. I'm telling you, Rashford has never played with a player as talented as Yamal before. Poor guy had to play with Bruno, who just loves to pass and inshallah, and Garnacho, who has the attitude of Cristiano Ronaldo, but the ability of speed. And the best part is that Rashford fits perfectly. He's not just locked into one position. He can play on the left wing, he can play up top, even on the right if he has to. That's going to be essential because one of the biggest problems that Barca had in the 2025 season was the lack of depth. When everyone was healthy, they had the deadliest front 3 in the world. Yamal, Lewandowski, and Rafinha helped Barca score 102 goals in La Liga. They worked like a machine. They were so good that they were even being compared with MSN. But as I stated earlier, depth was a problem. When injuries hit or players needed rest, Barca didn't have enough reliable backups. Fati must have looked like speed in training because Flick never picked him, and that brother rejuvenated everyone's career. Ferran ended up being a great backup to Leva, but on the wings, Barca had nothing. At certain points, they were playing central midfielders like Fermin on the wing. The other thing is that Flick had another plan brewing, one where Rafinha would play more centrally, but to pull that off, he needed someone quick and dangerous on the left. Nico Williams was perfect for that, but when he said no, Rashford became the next best option. He gives Barcelona versatility and improves the depth significantly. Flick can now rest Rafinha and Yamal without seeing a drop-off in quality. And the thing is, no matter what you think of Rashford, he's still a quality player. He is still a guy that can take over in a big game. How many players in the world can just pick up the ball on the wing, beat a few players, then rocket it into the top bins? Not many. And Rashford has shown over the years that he's still capable of pulling out moments like that. Remember what he did against City just a few years ago?
Hernandez and Rashford. Oh my goodness! That is a stunning goal from Marcus Rashford.
Rashford on the left, Yamal on the right, both are super dangerous. You're giving one of the best playmakers in the world a direct runner to pass to. You saw how many times Yamal assisted Rafinha? Now the young phenom has 2 direct outlets to pass to. Yamal attracts defenders, and Rashford can take advantage of the space they leave behind. You guys are gonna say I'm glazing, but Yamal truly has Steph Curry level of gravity around him. It was his ability to attract multiple defenders that allowed Pedri to score in the Copa del Rey final.
Lamine Yamal squares it. Pedri's onto it! What a stunning way to open this Copa del Rey final up!
Yamal was the reason that Nico Williams played so much better for the national team than Athletic Club. You get so much more space on the left wing when your right winger is Yamal. He makes life easier for you. Imagine just having to make a run in behind and he finds you with a Travella out of nowhere. Imagine making a darting run in behind the defense and now instead of Garnacho on the ball, it's Yamal dropping a pass right into your path. The Spaniard sees passes that no one else can. Now Rashford can create too, but it's clear that his role is to provide pace, width, and power on that left-hand side. I've been glazing Yamal, but Rashford is also going to get a ton of help from Balde.
Jugador inglés que a mí me gustaría que fuera español sería Marcus Rashford.
We have seen that historically Rashford and most inverted wingers play better when there's an overlapping fullback behind them. It makes sense. The left back gives Rashford an outlet if he wants to pass the ball, and then he can attract attention, which allows Rashford to create more space for himself to get a shot off. Imagine Trent having to go against both of these guys in El Clasico, but he's going to have flashbacks to what Rashford did to him in the Prem.
Like this. Then Rashford. A little bit of space. Rashford. Still Rashford! Electrifying goal! Marcus Rashford!
Rashford went from having Jake Paul overlapping him to the Flash. Now Barca really needed some width on that left-hand side, because when they played their best football last season, it was clear where the danger came from: the right wing and the middle of the pitch. Yamal stayed wide, stretching the defenses, while Rafinha drifted inside and caused chaos. Rafinha finished with 18 goals and 11 assists in La Liga, most of them coming from central areas. But the left wing, it didn't carry the same threat. In fact, only 13% of Barcelona's touches and goal-scoring moves came from that side. That's where Marcus Rashford comes in. By the way, if you guys want to get access to a Barcelona jersey that's never been released, you have to go to buygamejerseys.com and then use code PETTALKS at checkout. At his best, Rashford can bring that missing fire to the left flank. His speed, his directness, his goal threat, all of it gives Barcelona a new weapon. And if he does that, it would allow Rafinha to move into the center more often, or even rest Yamal on the right when needed. With Olmo constantly struggling with injuries, Rashford gives Flick something every top manager wants: more options. Sure, players like Nico Williams and Luis Diaz might have been better suited, but they were too expensive. Barcelona couldn't afford to spend over 60 million euros plus wages on those guys. Rashford, on the other hand, came on loan, took a pay cut, and didn't even ask for a guaranteed starting spot. That made him a smart and flexible signing. What should also motivate Barca fans is that Flick wanted him. He clearly believes that he can bring back the version of Rashford that was one of Europe's most feared attackers at one point. Flick believes in that project. He pushed hard to get the deal done before the team's preseason tour of Asia. In a World Cup year, with everyone watching, Rashford has an opportunity to really rejuvenate his career. For a while, Rashford didn't look happy at Manchester United. The joy, the hunger he played with, it all seemed lost. Now he's in a place he's always dreamed of: Barcelona, a new city, a new team, a new champ. He'll now be sharing the pitch with superstars like Yamal, Rafinha, and Lewandowski, which means he'll have to fight for minutes. But that's not a bad thing. It can be motivation. Even though his recent form didn't really demand a move to Barca, he got one anyways, and now he can't afford to waste it. This is Rashford's last big opportunity to bounce back. It's his last chance to show the world that he still belongs at the top. Barcelona is more than a club, and this might just be more than a loan. It could be the restart that Rashford has been waiting for. To see just how good the rest of the team around Rashford is, you have to check out this video right here.